good morning, Saturday morning, welcome. Today we are going to be talking all things eBay. Over the last few weeks we've been having a look at kind of the fundamentals of how to deal with eBay, how to set yourself up, especially if you've never done it before. And then we had a look at the ways to kind of get yourself noticed, get your stuff seen and get your things sold. But today we're going to have a look at all the things that may have maybe put you off ever using eBay before. All these sort of things head on, make sure that you're prepped and you are ready to go. Good morning.
Good morning, Vicky. How are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
Very good. The sun is coming, so I'm very happy.
It's delightful today. Delightful. I was just saying, over the last couple of weeks, we've had a look at kind of the fundamentals of getting started on eBay, if you've never done that before. Then we had a look at the best ways to kind of get seen, get noticed, and get your pieces sold. But sometimes there are some things that kind of put people off ever using eBay. So we thought we'd perhaps get ahead of that and tackle those sorts of issues head on, so that you can see exactly how it would work if you ever had to sort of deal with any issues.
Yeah, I mean, you know, hopefully this will run very smoothly, and usually it does. But as in life, there are all these little things to try us.
Yes.
And it does happen, unfortunately, on eBay. But as we spoke about those other things, if you set up right, if you do all the little things we've said, you should be fine. Even if you should be fine, you can't help other people and other people's habits.
True.
So let's start from the very beginning. You've sold something. Yoo-hoo! You know, well done. You've got your bid. It's amazing. And talking of bids, you know, there's something to remember that, you know, when someone makes an under offer for you, you get 3 chances, you accept it. You know, there's all those little lovely things if you put in the offers. But say you've sold your item. Excellent, you're really happy. Now, usually, as we quickly mentioned yesterday, you know, as soon as it says you've won it, I pay. Done.
Yeah.
It's done. And then it can come to me quicker, you know. But sometimes people have, you know, put on a charge and said, oh, put it up for this much money, I'll come back to it later. But ideally, you should be paid that day, unless it's an evening thing, or the next day.
Yeah.
If it starts to get to 3 days and you haven't been paid, then it's nice, you get a little prompter, and eBay have set this up. Usually you had to set it up, but eBay do this thing where you have a choice on your phone. You can either contact the buyer or you can have a little prompt, and you press the prompt and it says, dear buyer, and then you can put their name in if you know it, and then it's a lovely scripted sort of paragraph saying, notice that you bought it, I'd love to send it to you, but I can't until you pay, so it'd be great, could you let me know? And then you can add your little thing, like, I'm going away on holiday, I'd like to send it to you before I go, whatever, and you send that, and hopefully you should get a response the next day, or give it, you know, a day. If you don't, then you can go, I haven't heard from you. Please let me know what's going on. If not, I'm going to hand this over to eBay. Right. Now, what usually happens if someone gets a message like that, they usually go, oh, I'm so sorry, or I didn't see it. You know, most people, majority of people are lovely and polite, and, you know, life is crazy, as we know, and it's sorted. If that doesn't work out, it will go to eBay. Now, I had a lady who said, oh, I'm going to pay you. And I said, okay, but it hasn't happened. Can you tell me when? Absolute silence. So I thought, I'm sending it to eBay, and I did. Yeah. So eBay chase it for you. So what happens is you get to the resolution center, it's called, which sounds very frightening, but it's not. And it will say, right, what's happened? So it could be something that you've never received the item. So you could be a buyer, but you're like, I've got it back and it's faulty, and I've explained this to my buyer. Or you're a seller and you're going, I haven't been paid. Right. So you send that, and eBay chase it for you. And they usually give you a date. They'll say, we'll get it resolved between this date and it usually takes maybe a week, 10 days, whatever. In those week or 10 days, hopefully the buyer will pay, which happened to me with those earrings. If it doesn't, then you get to say, for example, if you don't hear it by the 7th, it should have been dealt with. You look on your resolution center after a week, and it will say, you know, here's your fee. So basically you get a bit of money back because they didn't stick to their word. And then you can, and it gives you an option on eBay to then go, okay, I'm putting it back on. So you'll get a little fee, you won't get a mark. Now, that's the worst case scenario, really, is that they don't pay, you have to put it on. So it's like, oh God, I have to go through this again, especially if people were bidding and you got a really nice, you know, it was going in the right direction for you, and you like, which I had with a pair of boots, and then the person didn't buy them. And so I'm back to square one again, and I still haven't sold the boots, and I would have sold them because 3 other people were looking at them.
Yeah, but really good to know, I think, that although you go through that and it's frustrating and it's annoying, it's really good to know that actually eBay are there. You don't have to deal with it, which the confrontation of that might not be quite so pleasant. Yeah. Actually, eBay deal with it, and actually the more you use eBay as a buyer or even as a seller, you will know that eBay have to deal with these things. So it's just a standard practice that eBay have the back of whoever it is, the buyer or the seller.
And you know, you are being charged to use it. You know, they're not doing it for you know, for kindness. They are, and the more you go through eBay, you know, like for example, if you say to someone, oh, collection only, and they say, oh yeah, brilliant, can I whereabouts, you know, I'm really, so for example, you've got something on, it's collection only, and they say, oh, where do you live? Don't give them your address. Do not give them your address or your full postcode. Just say, you know, for example, I'm SE18. I just say SE18. So they'll go, oh, that's in that region. If they're Northwest London, they'll know that that's Southeast London. Yeah. And that might be a bit of a drive. But don't give anyone your full postcode, your full address until they've bought it. They've paid for it. So this lady, she bought the plates. Brilliant. I said, when are you going to come and pick? So you have that conversation on your messages. When can you pick up? Blah, 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 blah. Some people might say, oh, I'll pay you when I see you. Yeah. No, 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 no. They have to pay. Right. None of that business. Because straight away you are not sticking to eBay rules, and you will not be covered. So the more, it's about, like we all know, it's communication. Sometimes there's some things that are tricky to talk about, but you have to say, you have to pay me. You know, I can't give you, you need to pay for, I need payment, and then I can send them, or payment, then I can give you my postcode. So don't do any of that, you know. I mean, I had one lady she came to pick up her things from here. Then she saw the other things I had. And she went, oh, I like that. Could I buy that from you? I said, yeah, you could. And then that's your own. I said, well, okay, that's amazing. I haven't got that on eBay. She said, well, I'll buy it from you now. And I went, really? She said, yeah, how much do you want for it? Told her. She goes, I'll put it back in your. She put it in my house, in my bank account, and I just gave it to her. Right. Now, that's not technically negotiable. But it wasn't on eBay. No. She came to buy it. She'd already bought 2 huge, very expensive items, so I knew she was good for them, if you know what I mean. Yeah. But don't if you're doing it via eBay, stick to the eBay rules, and that will give you cover. Great. So it's good to know that if you're selling something, even if it's collection, get the payment first, then you're covered by eBay. Yeah, and don't give your address, don't give your full postcode. You don't want people turning up at your house. You know, there's a formal agreement and something has been paid, and something was agreed on, and you know, so there's that. So if someone hasn't paid, that's what you can do. What happens then if you've sent it and they say, I never got it? Well, this goes back to your post. I believe that whatever post, you know, you are dicing with things if you just send it as a first class or a second class. I do everything signed for. So if I'm going to use Royal Mail, so I usually use Royal Mail second class signed for, which is about £4.10. Make sure you get your measurements right, otherwise it goes to £6. And get that leaflet from the post office. They're very kind to give that to you. If you do Royal Mail, if you do Hermes, you usually get, when you're picking on eBay, it tells you if there's something that goes wrong, you'll get £60 back, £25. Not saying you'll get it back, but that's what you can claim for. Now, if the item is, you're selling something for 19, you're only going to get 60. Well, that's the way it is. If it's eBay's fault, they usually sort that out. Like, I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I sold an item. It was £200. It went to this buyer. She asked me, where is it? And it was going international. So I said, it's been, because eBay have a centre in England. You send it to them. So you pay your post. So say, for example, I spent £6 to send this item to eBay. Then the buyer in Italy or America or Germany, whatever, pay eBay the rest of the money So maybe 16, 15 pounds to send it to them.
Right, okay.
That's how it works.
You know that you're covered because if you've done it signed for, you know that eBay have signed for it and it's got to the point where you know it needs to get to. After that, it's down to eBay because they do the rest of it.
Absolutely. So I know I used either Royal Mail or Hermes. I knew it was an expensive item. I wanted to track it. Do you know what I mean? And it was tracked. So this item, and also it takes longer. So sometimes if you sell internationally, remember I had someone call me, text me this week saying, where's my bag and top? And I said, I could look on eBay and go, actually, it's not going to be with you to the 13th of July.
Right.
It's in transit. So it felt written, and she wanted to know the tracking. And I usually, when you do Royal Mail, do put your tracking number. It's
So
really good to help your buyer know that it's all above board and you've done it. You know, so for example, this item, it went missing. This particular buyer was on me. She goes, where is it? And I had a similar item on eBay I put on, and she goes, oh, I see what you've done. She accused me of keeping it and then putting it back on.
Right.
So that wasn't very nice. And I said, well, actually, that's not true. Go via eBay. And eBay lost it. It got lost and it was down to eBay. So they gave her money back. I still had my money from her. So somewhere in the ether is that parcel. Someone got that parcel, but eBay sorted out because it was their problem.
So the things to cover so far are making sure you get paid first, then you're covered by eBay if anything happens.
Yeah.
And also to track your parcels and share that tracking with whoever it is that you're selling to. Then that will cover that as well. Then they know it's out there, it's on its way. If it doesn't reach them, it's not your fault. It's down to the postage, but you're then again covered.
Exactly. And when you go to the post office on your phone, as I said, put it on your app, it will say marked as post.
Right.
And do you want to, so if that's now, if you do Royal Mail, you mark it yourself with your little finger here and you go marked, and then you can put in the tracking number that you get from the post office. They print it out to you and you say Royal Mail and it's gone. So they know their tracking number. They know it's Royal Mail. With Hermes, it's very different. You need a printer. I don't know if I've mentioned this before. You need a printer. So I have the printer on my little iPad and I have it on my phone. That's Wi-Fi'd up. So when I go, oh, when it says to me, what am I paying for? We've already listed how we're paying for it, how the buyer's paying for it. It goes Royal Mail and Packlink when you look at it. And also I go Packlink and it says whatever the money is, and I press it, and that comes out of it can either come out of my bank account or it will come out of my PayPal account. And I do everything via PayPal because then I know I'm covered. I've got proof. I've sent it.
Yeah.
Just, you know, it keeps it all in one. I can always go into PayPal and go, oh, I sent it on that day. It's always there. And you've got the buyer's email and it's all above board. So you can.
And is it the postage people that are covering that if it goes missing because you know you've tracked it, or is it eBay?
So if you do anything via Royal Mail, anything goes missing, anything gets broken, we'll get to that in a minute, then you can make a claim with Royal Mail. Right. If it's Packlink, Hermes are very tricky customers. I don't want to run down any company, but having dealt with them, you can't speak to a human being there's a phone number. It's very tricky to find out what's going on. You just have to be a little bit investigation. So for example, I sent a plate. I wrapped it like you would not believe. It reached this person and got them 3 pieces. Which is, she said, I know it's not your fault. It came to me crushed.
Wow.
So I was looking for a Hermes number. Now, usually when you can get Hermes to pick up, but I usually get some steps in and I walk to my Hermes dealer. And on your phone, you can put on Hermes drop off, and it's usually there'll be a little news agents that take them for you. Yeah. I went to him. Do you have a number? I already found a number, but I found another thing called Patlink, and that's what Hermes is used by. And if there is something that got there that was broken, you can make a claim. Now I'm just waiting for my buyer to send me photos. She sent me one and I said, please, they're asking for 3 photos. If you could show me the box, how it came, then I have proof to send it to them and go, this is how this particular item got there, and it got there like that. Please, could you refund this lady? Yeah. Now she hasn't contacted me, and I don't know where I am at the moment with that, but I want to get her money. Yeah, she gave me money. Now, do I do a refund? It gets a little bit tricky. Will she say something to eBay? It got here, but she was very pleasant and she said it's fine. So I'm working through that one, but you can get through Packlink and go, I need to make, and I know that when I bought my postage, I was allowed 25, 60 pounds. It will tell you how much compensation you could possibly get if something goes wrong.
Cool. So do your research on that. And also, obviously, that becomes a negotiation between the seller and the buyer. Who claims from who, I guess.
Yeah, and also remember, when you're doing your post, always make sure, I know it sounds, the buyer's paying for it unless you make sure, but always make sure that the buyer is paying for it, because sometimes eBay puts it back on and you're giving free post. So really checking, because once a bid is been made on your item, there is nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
Now, sometimes with postage, you can, one person might buy two things on your, we haven't spoken about this, but if you, for example, if you buy a bag and a shirt, you can put them together. So what happens is the person goes, I want to pay this, what post can you give me? And you can do a joint. So say, for example, the post is £2.85 each, and you're going to put them in one post, and it's the same weight, less bag. You could maybe go, right, well, how can then you can charge what you think is appropriate to send that. And obviously it will give them a little bit of a discount. And then you send them an invoice and they pay for all of that.
Right, so you do that step, because normally you would have added it on, they then just pay you. You then have a negotiation between the two of you?
Yes, you do. So, for example, you buy one, someone gets, but if someone buys a few things, which I've had, you kind of want to make it more attractive. So say for example, the postage is something like £8. Well, I could possibly make it £6 because it's going in the same. The weight is a little bit different, but not so much that it's gone into another scale.
Yeah.
So, you can do them a little bit of you can say, well, I can offer you this much. And then usually buy it. And then that's another way of doing that too.
Yeah, great. So we've covered, if somebody doesn't pay you, you wait a little while, send them a nudge. If they still don't pay you, take it to eBay, let them deal with it. They still don't pay you, they let you know, give you a little bonus for it, for being mucked about, and you put it straight back on again. If it arrives or doesn't arrive, perhaps it doesn't arrive at all, you've then got your tracking number. Any issues with post, you go to the post people, whoever that is, whoever you've used, and you claim if something is broken or damaged, you claim back. And that's a negotiation that you have between the buyer and the seller, depending on whether you refund and claim or you claim for them.
Exactly. I mean, if you're a seller, it's obviously courteous. If the item hasn't got to them, it's good for you to chase. It's not like, well, that's not my problem anymore. That's not really a good way to be. It's good to, you've sold it in good faith, and that should have been done. Vice versa. If I haven't received anything, I will chase someone and say, hi, buyer, I bought this a week ago. I haven't heard from you. If it's coming, could you just give me a rough? And people are really lovely, and I think it's really good to message. If someone's bought something for you, like I said last week, I post Mondays and Fridays, and I'll say, I can post these days. If you want me to post it on those days, pay me the day before. Then you get it all wrapped, and then you go. And then you say, whenever someone says to me, like this week, my printer decided not to play, so I'm waiting for new ink now. So I said to someone, I'm really sorry, I haven't been able to send your parcel. I'm going to send it on Wednesday when I get my ink. No problem. Something else happened. I used Hermes. Packlink is the same company sort of thing. Hermes is the person who delivers and picks up, but Packlink is the name for eBay. Just to make that clear. And I wanted to use Hermes, but this particular piece of jewelry was going to Jersey, and they don't use Hermes. Right. So then you go, but what do I do? What do I do? So because I looked into that, it didn't give me a choice. This is very clever, eBay. I went to print it out, and it wouldn't let me do it. So I went, I'm going to have to post it. So I managed, it was £2.85 to send via that way. But when I went to the post office, I said, can I have this? What's the safest? Can I have a tracking? And because it was only a pair of earrings, it cost me £2.18, and I still got it tracked. Right, great. So just remember, sometimes if it says Hermes can't go there, don't worry, you can use Royal Mail. Also check the postcode, because eBay will also say, some people put their postcode all together, they don't do the gap. Should we change it for you? Use your post finder, put the address in, and it will tell you, we think it should go like this, but the buyer might go, no, I think it should go like this. So between common sense and what it looks like, you decide which one it should go as well. So that helps too.
So again, I guess the main thing to take from this, or the main few things, is to be as honest as you possibly can, even from the very beginning with the description, if there's something wrong with it or anything like that, just be completely honest.
Yeah.
And all the way through, if you know you're not going to send it until 2 days time, tell them.
Yes.
Put the tracking on so they can see it.
Yes.
And also know that eBay is there to back you up when it comes to anything eBay, but anything postage, you kind of have to chase yourself. Is that right?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, like I was about to make a claim last year for the post office, and I never got round to doing it. Lots of things was going on in my life. So in the end, I left it. I gave this lady her money back, and I didn't chase it. So I lost out 25 quid.
Right.
These things happen, you know.
Yeah.
I should have been more on it, and that's the lesson I learned.
Yeah.
You know, but they were very good. And I think, you know, if you're honest from the get-go, you know, like what we've said, if there's stains on it, show the dots. If it's a bit broken, say it is. If it's new and it's got the labels, if, you know, be honest. Say when you're going to deliver it. I mean, I probably go beyond what some people do, but that is how I would like to be treated. I like to be known, oh, Natalia, I've sent it, oh, it's coming next week, whatever. And you go, oh, okay, you know, it's meant to be a joy, and it's a you know, it's a two-way street. And the easier you make it for yourself, you make it easier for the buyer, and it all becomes very crystal clear.
Yeah, for sure. Amazing. Thank you so much. It's been incredibly helpful. And I think if you have never done it before, then it just makes it sort of, it simplifies it and knows that you've got that cover, you've got that backup. So there's no reason to give it a try. Just be honest, really do your research, I think, is the best thing.
Yeah, and also usually, you know, we're there to take as a seller. You'll usually take there, but what, you know, for example, I mentioned that top, the lady, I said it was polyester. She said, no, I'm not wear polyester, and I went straight to eBay and said, this is what I said, and she's saying this, and they covered her. So, and some people, I've sold something, and they said, oh, it was sealed, it was brand new, and they said it was broken, and I said, well, send it back. They wanted a receipt. And I said, well, I said, well, send it back and I'll sort it out. And so what they wanted me to do was to send the receipt so they could go into a shop and get all the full money back for it. And it was very, very dodgy. And I said, and because I was crystal clear, no, there's no problem. And because it's eBay, have all your notes and messages, you can prove it. So when you have things in email, like we all know in any kind of business we're on, if you have things in email, you have proof. It's stated. So just cover everyone's back, I think, is the... And then you can sleep easy at night knowing you've done your eBay duty to all.
I love it. Well, thank you ever so much. That's been amazing and incredibly informative, and definitely making things easier instead of having to do it through trial and error. We already know before we get started.
Good.
Yes, excellent stuff. Thank you very much. It's been fabulous. If you've missed any of the other videos, we have put them up on my YouTube channel and on my IGTV as well. So do check those out from the very beginning, how to start, how to get noticed, and now how to tackle any issues. Tali, it's been amazing. Thank you very much for our chat today.
You're welcome.
We're thinking that maybe we might have a look at interiors and how to do that on a budget for our next chat. I think would be fabulous.
Yes, I think we're going that way. We did furniture, didn't we? And we've done a bit of jewelry and stuff. But yes, interiors. How can you vamp up, change things without costing an absolute fortune?
An absolute fortune. Yeah. I like that look at that really good magazine, but let's not spend a fortune on it.
Exactly. So that's what we're going to do next week.
Yeah, definitely. We're going to be back next week. We're going to do a very quick chat on Friday at 10:30, and then the full chat on Saturday morning, 10:30. So we hope to see you there. Tali, as always, thank you so much for your informative chats. So helpful. I've loved the ones about eBay because now I can really get started. But we'll be back next week, as I said. Tali, have a fantastic day.
You too, lovely.
Thank you. And to all of you, enjoy your day, and we'll see you all very soon. Bye.
Bye.